Someone building a rock garden doesn't need the same amount of gravel as someone who's building a road. These are two very different consumers sold to at two very different scales. Understanding where your consumer fits will open the doors for business opportunities. We're gonna kick things off with a story about a man who sells dirt on Amazon. In fact, he makes millions of dollars every year selling dirt on Amazon. Crazy story, right? Let's jump into how this works and get some takeaways on that can apply to you in your business. This all starts with an observation. A man observed that there was demand for people to buy potting soil on Amazon, and the demand really wasn't being met in the right way. Sure, there was potting soil available on Amazon, but it wasn't in the right quantity. Think of potting soil. You buy it at Home Depot, you buy it at Lowe's, and you buy it in a big bag. Well, if you have a potted plant and you're living in New York City, you don't need a big bag of potting soil in your apartment, right? So what was the solution here? Shrinking the packaging of that product. Here's lesson one, packaging. The size of packaging really matters with the product. So the observation here is that not everyone needs to buy a large bag of potting soil. By a large bag, I mean 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 50 pounds of potting soil. Not everyone needs that. Sometimes people need half a pound, 1 pound. If you have a pet cactus on your desk, you do not need a 50-pound bag of potting soil next to you. So understanding what your consumer needs and how much of it they need will give you an edge over anyone who doesn't. Imagine if flour was only sold in one type of quantity, be it for personal use or for bakery use. How many bakery servings would be used by a household over the course of the year? You might have to dedicate an entire room for storing your flour. Or if you could only buy personal size, a bakery would have to buy thousands of personal sizes of flour every day to be able to satisfy their baking needs. Understanding that this is just a basic commodity, but that needs to be packaged for its specific consumer unlocks all kinds of opportunities for your business. Lesson two, create variations. In order to compound his success, what he did is he didn't just make one type of potting soil. He actually went through and did research on every single plant and what type of potting soil it would need. So that way he really understood his niche, and turns out there really was only 4 types of potting soils anyway. So in other words, he'd have one type of potting soil, the exact same product with different labels for each of the 20 different plants that potting soil served. He was able to make a variation for each and every one of them. Whether you're growing mint leaves, whether you're growing parsley, whether you're growing cactus, you can understand which specific type of soil you need. Now for an experienced buyer, they might have the information, know exactly what kind of soil they're looking for. Your average consumer doesn't, and that's really the advantage that he has here, is it's an information advantage, which brings us to lesson number 3. Find information advantages. Understanding your product and your customers' needs better than they do is going to present opportunities for yourself. What's the difference between the flour that you use for muffins and the flour that you use for cupcakes? There might not be a difference, but that doesn't mean there aren't consumers looking for each of those different variations. Serving those needs will get you ranking higher than your competitors who are not jumping in to serve those needs. Think about medication. Lots of medication does very similar things when it comes to treating a cold or flu symptoms, but by listing each specific symptom, it puts people in specific categories. Some people are very much concerned about their sore throat, concerned about a runny nose, those that are concerned about a cough. Many of the same medications are used here, but they're addressing specifically the different symptoms, therefore addressing the specific pain points of your consumer. You can get creative with this. What are products that serve 2 different markets where the consumer might assume that these are 2 totally different products? A car vacuum and a vacuum that you'd use on a boat or an RV might be the exact same vacuum, but consumers might have an appetite for a very specific unit here. Another example that's pretty profound is a rangefinder for golf and a rangefinder for shooting are the exact same product mechanically and technologically, but they're totally different categories on Amazon, and both very healthy categories on Amazon, selling the exact same product marketed to different people. This is a huge takeaway that we can take from our example of selling dirt. Understand who your customer is and understand what specific needs they're looking for, and then fulfill it. Here's a bonus lesson. The little building pieces, the little building blocks that he built along the way by building these strong variations of these very specific plants eventually served to where he was able to actually gain some market share in the broader term, which was potting soil. So these little efforts he was making along the way, it's not that every single one of these SKUs took off, but he was putting in the work that got him reviews, got confidence in his brand to where he started ranking, gaining market share in the larger brand. Your takeaway should be, if you're looking to move into a larger category and a larger keyword and compete against big brands, start small. You can win the small battles and slowly but surely win the war. Quick recap. Number one, understanding the product size that your consumer wants. Oftentimes there's mismatches in the market. Not everyone needs a truckload of potting soil at once. Number two, variations. Can the same product that's used for a mule be used for a horse? Can the same product that's used for chickens be used for quails? Are there opportunities to subset and split out your product so you can gain market share on a smaller level? Third, information arbitrage. What do you know about your product that your consumers don't know? Like I've said before, it could be that the same product can be used for multiple things. Going a little bit deeper and getting a little bit more specialized in your own product and your own niche can glean more product opportunities for you. Whether it's variation possibilities, whether it's value add opportunities, additional SKUs that you can move in, bundling opportunities. Understand your product and your industry at a deep level, and you're gonna find more opportunity. And then as a bonus, use these small opportunities, use the small wins to build into a larger win and a wave that can push you into competing in the larger category against the bigger brands. These are all things that I've seen smart sellers do. Use coupon code SMART2024 to get 25% off for your first 3 months, as well as a 7-day free trial of Smart Scout, so you can have the right data to make the right decisions and improve your business. Thanks again for coming. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.